Good afternoon, YouTube. It's Carlton, otherwise known as Hex again. I'm coming at you with another video. Um, this one's going to be based on something we're actually talking about in Witchiversity this week. This week is on protective magics, or white magics, however you want to term that. The previous week was on dark witchery. So I'm actually going to address my philosophy on both. Um, this is going to kind of be an all-in-one video, so it might be a little longer than most of my other ones. So I want to start with addressing the dark witchery. Um, Consider this my video response ember. As you guys can see here, this is something that I've already shared on the Witchiversity group. This is a working that is in progress, basically. I have one more candle that I need to burn over the top of the jar on a certain day this week. And the spell will be complete, and then I can go ahead and actually bury it in a graveyard to seal the spell. So I'm not going to go into the details of the actual spell. It is considered a negative working, not out of spite or out of being a malicious person, but more so out of retaliation, to banish and send back um, this person's energy. Um, Essentially, one of the things I wanted to talk about on my channel was using mirrors in spellcraft. And that's something that a few of us had talked about in Witchiversity, and I know I had been asked to please go ahead and do a video, so consider this my video. I have a few different ways I'm going to talk about using mirrors. Um, in this particular spell, I don't know if I can get in close enough, there we go. You can probably see this jar is actually sitting on a mirror in a circle of black salt. Now, this spell is encompassing a few different aspects. It's essentially, I've set it so that if this person continues, whatever harm or negative shit they throw at myself and the people involved in this spell, that it will be sent back to them. So essentially, this is a negative working and a protective working all in one. So it's entirely in their hands. How malicious the spell turns out for them. Um, so I think it kind of is safe to say that mirrors can be used good and bad. If I take you over here on my altar, I pulled this one out to show you. It has the name of a girl on there, so let me just cover that real quick. Um, this has it's an old mirror from a makeup compact that I had. This was one of those spells where you just work with what you have, whatever you can find. Um, I wrote some sigils around the mirror, and then you place a dressed candle on that mirror, and this candle is particularly white. So this is actually like a fiery wall of protection spell. Essentially, the candle sitting on the mirror and using the power of the mirror as a deflector for any negative influence from a person that she felt threatened by. So that's what that is. So it's kind of a similar idea. You can actually take, let's say you take a box and you actually line the box with mirrors. You can do a spell with that where it'll trap that person in their own head, in their own negative influence. You can put a puppet of someone in there. I'm actually going to do another video today about a puppet because that's something that was requested of me to do, and I really want to talk about it because I think it's a good subject for this week of Witchiversity. So I just kind of wanted to address the mirrors. Mirrors are basically used to send back, to deflect or reflect back. They can be used obviously for scrying, but in spell work, they're essentially going to be used to bounce back energy, or to reflect that energy. Part of the reason I chose not to put the mirror inside of the jar and broken up was because I wanted to set the spell on top of it. The way that I see it and the way that it works for me is the mirror is also magnifying the actual spell. So when I have the candles lit, the light that comes from this, because it's on top of a mirror and is being reflected, is absolutely incredible. It lights up my entire witchy space, which it would normally take a few candles to do that. So it's magnifying the power of that spell, without having to to consistently um, feed so much energy into it to where it puts you into an energy deficit, because it's magnifying and reflecting that energy and thus creating more. Um, I know it was very quantum of me to have done a spell like that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that with you guys. If you guys have used mirrors in spells, I'd love to hear about it. If you guys are in progress with one, definitely show me. I'd love to see it. I'd love to get some ideas from you guys. Or if you have questions about um, how I use mirrors in further, or how, if you have an idea and you're not sure if the mirror would work for it, definitely send me a message or leave me a comment. I'd love to chat with you about it, see if I can help you in any way. Um, so yeah, I think that's my take on mirrors in Dark Witchery and Protective Magic. I'll have another tidbit on Protective Magic coming in my pop-up video that'll be up also today, while I have some free time. But I just wanted to come at you guys and kind of give you this info. Yeah, I mean, you can use mirrors from anything. I've taken apart old hand mirrors that I've gotten from people. It's really good if you can get a mirror that someone has touched. Like this particular compact was from this girl's compact mirror. So we actually broke it off of her old compact. She had used it. It was hers. So it's protecting her. Now this particular mirror, I actually got it like Hobby Lobby. It's just like a mirrored candle stand. Where they come in a bunch of different sizes. You can actually do spells like that on a full-size wall mirror and actually make protective sigil wards to hang on your wall. Um, there's just so many ways to use a mirror. Whatever you can think about doing, you can do it. A mirror is glass. So, I don't know nowadays. I know, like, if you can get an old mirror, it's even better, because back in the day, mirrors were actually lined with silver. That's why they were so expensive. So that silver is also a conductive metal, which is going to give you the purest form of energy in that spell that you can get. So I think it goes to show that if you can get a vintage mirror and utilize that for things like this, that would be so much better. But make do with what you can get your hands on. If you have to go to the dollar store and get cheapy mirrors and actually take the glass out of it, do so. That's not a problem. Just make sure you cleanse and dress the mirror accordingly, based on what working you're doing. So, thanks so much, guys, for chatting with me on Witchiversity. Let me know if you have any ideas for more videos you guys would like to see, or have questions for me. Leave them in the comments below, or hit me up on Facebook via Witchiversity, and I'd love to chat with you guys. Yeah, so blessed be. Bye.